Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and this is a request deck profile, kind of. But I'm doing this a few months late, because after Wyvern Watch posted his Fire King deck profile, he was interested in seeing what mine was like, and now I'm just getting round to it. Because a lot happened since then, with quitting current format, then initially banning Fire Kings from Richician format, and then unbanning them a couple of days ago. So yeah, I've yet to put a Pot of Greed in here, since, well, Pot of Greed is legal in Richician format, but here's what it is right now, if we're going with, like, a more tournament legal build, you might say. So we have 3 copies of Garunix. Probably don't need to play 3 nowadays, but you know, it's still like the main boss monster. So yeah, gotta have as many copies as possible. Oh, and keep in mind, as you can see, this is a pure build. I'm not running Diabell Star or Snake Eyes, especially since, like, I'm still not overly familiar with them. I know Snake Eyes involve turning monsters into continuous spells, and I also know how obnoxious they are. I've heard a lot of people hate on them, complain about them, but I've never played against them myself. But all the same, Snake Eye and Diabell Star is banned in my format anyway. Plus, I kind of prefer playing Fire Kings pure. But anyway, yeah, so we've got that, and 2 copies of the other boss monster, I guess, Sacred Fire King Garunix. I mean, I guess I could just read off the effects of the ones that came in the structure deck. I mean, it's been out since, like, at the end of 2023, but some still might not be familiar with the newer ones. So if your monster that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard if it was sent there when the monster was destroyed, or hand, even if not. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can destroy a fire beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster in your hand, deck, or face up on the field, except itself. And if you do, this card gains attack equal to half the destroyed monster's attack it had there until the end of the turn. And you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So that's that. And here's the other monster, which seems to be a free of. Fire King High Avatar Kirin. During the main phase, if this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face-up field, and if you do special summon this card, if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Fire King from your hand or graveyard except itself. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field. So pretty good, and you can only use each effect once per turn. Avata, we're already familiar with. Barong, we're already familiar with. This one isn't out in the TCG yet at the time of recording, but this is Fire King Consort Ulcanix, I think that's how you say it. So yeah, we kind of have a Fire Queen, I guess. So if this is normal or special summon, you can destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face up on the field, and if you do, add a fire beast, beast warrior, or winged beast from your deck to your hand except itself. Then you can make this card's level become that monster's. If this card is destroyed and sent to the GY, you can special summon 1 Fire King High Avatar Garunix from your deck in defense position. So yeah, it works with the original. And then hydroponics, which somehow I completely forgot to include in the deck when I initially added all the new support. Like, I actually can't believe that, because this is an absolute must in the deck. So this is your mini Stratos as well. So if your monster that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a Fire King spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, so I guess it's more like a Magician's Rod for Fire Kings. During the next standby phase after this card was destroyed and sent to the GUI, add this card from the graveyard to your hand. You can only use each effect of it once per turn. And I'm still running the Sacred Phoenix as, well, it's my favourite winged beast monster, and it still works with Fire Kings very well. I just like having that option. Just playing 2 copies of Coach Soldier Wolfbark just to bring back the lower levels and make a rank 4 if need be. And Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion, well, initially that was only in there to stop Called by the Grave and DD Crow. Because obviously, yeah, if either of those banish this, then it's kind of a problem. Then 2 copies of Onslaught. Yeah, I would still play 3 of it, but I just didn't have room for a 3rd one anymore. I mean, this isn't going to be a perfect build, obviously. But it was the best I could think of. Obviously, you still want it to get to the Garunix, but then I thought, well, considering this can bring out High Avatar Garunix, it just seemed to make sense. Then 2 copies of Circle, 1 copy of Fire King Skyburn, one of the new spells. Well, I guess they're not so new anymore, but you get the idea. Target an equal number of Fire King monsters you control and cards your opponent controls. Destroy them. If a Fire King card you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So I guess that works if you really don't want it to be destroyed for whatever reason, but it seems to go against the gimmick. But what do I know? Then 3 copies of Island and 2 copies of Sanctuary. I don't think 3 is really necessary, considering the off chance you might hard draw Island. But basically, when this card is activated, you can place Fire King Island from your deck face up in your field zone. Once per turn, if a card in your field zone would be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy 1 fire monster in your hand or face up field instead. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon a Fire Xyz using only Fire King monsters you control. You can only activate 1 of these per turn, and 2 copies of Tenki, just to search your low level guys out. Dark Hole, because, well, it's just better for this deck than Regeki. Called by the Grave. To be honest, I only initially put this in to stop Ash Blossom, because Ash can hurt this deck, but probably don't need to run it, considering in Richician format Ash is banned, so could replace that with Pot of Greed, to be honest. In fact, I'll do that right now. There we are. And Twin Twisters for back row removal. And traps, we have 2 Solemn Strikes, and basically the newer trap. Wow. This, if I can, this kind of looks like the Winged Dragon of Ra, or Fiery and stuff. So basically, this card allows me to special summon 3 fire monsters, a beast, a beast warrior and a winged beast from your hand, deck and graveyard, but their effects are negated, and destroy them during the end phase. That's pretty much perfect, as there's lots of different types of those. You can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when you normal or special summon Fire King monsters. You can only use each effect of Echelon of the Fire Kings once per turn. And now for the extra deck, starting with an extra deck boss monster, Garunix Eternity, Hyang of the Yangzings. It's 2+ level 8 monsters. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can destroy all other monsters on the field. You can detach a material from this card, then target a spell or trap on the field, destroy it, and if you do, this card gains 500 attack. So it could be great in anything that can make rank 8s, really, not just Fire Kings. Might consider it for Blue Eyes White Dragon and Galaxy Photon, maybe. I don't know. If this card is destroyed while it has material, you can special summon Fire King monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials this card had. You can only use each effect of Garunix Eternity Hyang of the Yangzings once per turn. And then all the others are just generic stuff that I could probably make, well, mostly. Utopia Package, Tiger King, just to get Tenki, Honor Arc, Giant Hand, Castell, Emerald, Nightmares, Unicorn and Phoenix, and then some generic Fire extra deck support in Heater and Doolittle Chimera. Side deck is just pretty generalised. It's the sort of side deck I'd play. But yeah, that's my Fire King deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and a comment, share and subscribe if you haven't subbed already. And thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.